Ahem, benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Napoli Rant. I am Raff Biz, joined by my co-host, the maker of it, Soviet, Rafa Rispo.
Come stai oggi, Raff Bizzarro?
Tutto okay. Not quite the same weekend without Napoli, though.
It's
but
not the same.
We're here. We're here.
We're
Right?
here, Ralph, and there's not a lot to talk about, really. We've had the week off. Spalletti and the boys not getting the job done on Saturday. We can talk a little bit about that. But to be honest with you, Ralph Bizzarro, we don't really have much of a forum today, right? What are we doing? What are we doing today?
Well, first, let's just say hi to everybody in the chat as well as our audio listeners. Let's get this rant on the road. But before we do that,
show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel and be sure to give this episode a like.
Well, then, thank you for your continued support. Yes, please hit that like button, guys. Please share our show. Please subscribe. It's a big help. And send us your drip if you have a club, and we'll wear it here.
Well, hey,
too.
I guess I'll reveal my surprise. For those who just opened up their Instagram, I have a surprise for everybody today. Speaking of drip.
Uh-oh. Hey, wait, they got to pay extra for this, Rafa. Hold on here.
This is going on the Patreon.
This, guys, you're getting a free show. What an open forum tonight, man. Look at this. Oh.
Daddy came correct tonight, baby. Daddy came correct
with the chain
tonight.
Too. With the gold chain. I want to pop out my gold chain.
The black
everybody, pop out your gold chain right now. Pop out your gold chain right now, everybody. Let's go.
Let's go. What's good, guys? Guess what? 7 days it took to get here from the Napoli official store. 7 days. Drip. Told you this was the hottest kit I've ever seen. Told you I'll have it. Here it is.
I'm feeling, man. I am feeling. I want to get this kit so bad. At first, I'm not a tribal guy, Rafa. I'm not a tribal guy, but this one, I like. I mean, I got the Panther one, so
yeah.
Might as well get the
and I'll tell you what. For those who are really, and I guess we could talk about this, right? For those who are really like drip guys, but bigger, a little bit bigger, can't fit in the match worn stuff, right? The official match on field kit.
Right.
Get the fan issued replica. This is the fan issued replica. Now, the N is not embroidered on like the usual, but it's on here. It's not like a cheap patch. It's on here. Screen print.
Is that like it's like a, I don't want to say like an iron on, but
yeah, it's sort of like an iron on. It is. The Scudetto is a patch as opposed to the Scudetto being sort of ironed on as well. And there is no N in the middle of it because it's just a regular patch.
Okay.
But man, I'll tell you what, it's just so fire. And it fits. It fits so much better than the player issue kit. So guys, and it's much cheaper. Get that if you need to. The only thing is they don't do customization. So if you want to get a name and number, you got to order that yourself, which I plan on doing. But I'll tell you what, man, it's the first replica that I've bought from the store, and I love it. The official kits went out, sold out. So I grabbed this, and I'm in love with it. Absolutely in love with it.
For $70, it should take 7 minutes.
I'm surprised it took 7 days, man. What? Saturday went on sale. It came in on Friday, actually, 6 days. Perfect.
So Rafa, lovely kit, guys. Definitely cop it. But I'm gonna put this our own little comment here. Just the guys, we wanted to just kind of like pick your brains a little bit. Again, aside from Italy, not really so much to talk about. We know Politano had an injury. We know they're ongoing with the negotiation with Ozanim's contract. you guys have a lot of great questions for us, and we wanted to give everybody kind of an opportunity to ask one and just pick our brains a little bit. And let's rant about something. Maybe you got something on your mind. Maybe you have a question or a concern. Let's keep it Napoli. Let's keep it,
It's going to be a very user-driven show today.
Yeah. We'll hang out for a little bit.
I'd really like some questions. I know you guys have a lot to comment on. But
not about the Jets, sorry about the Jets, but let's talk.
Sorry about Aaron Rodgers. I think he just turned his knee or something. Oh, well. My Giants didn't score a single point this week. So if the Jets score at least 3 points, they did better than the Giants.
I got one, Rafa. All right, we're ready.
Go ahead.
Let's
go with the questions. Let's go.
Francesco Valenti, who starts at right wing? Because I think this is a big question now with Politano and his little ankle snag here. Who starts at right wing? Elmas, Lindstrom, or Raspa? Let's start with who doesn't. How about that? And then work out. Let's do a little analytical.
Right wing?
Yeah, let's do a little analytical deduction here. Who will not start at right wing? And then we can who will start at you get it? I'm just like kind of going the other way.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna say Raspa doesn't start at right wing.
I'm also gonna say Elmas doesn't start at right wing.
Doesn't?
No.
You think Lindstrom's getting a call?
Well, I think Lindstrom will start at right wing. I think Raspadori is maybe better suited on the right. Is that true? Or he's a central player in my opinion. Raspadori needs to be able to be central. I know Lindstrom's had some success on the right, and hey, guess what? Lindstrom was brought in, to sort of replace Chucky Lozano, right? So let's go. Elmas is versatile, but we all agree that the weakest point that Elmas could play at is right wing, right? He'll do it to cover, but if Lindstrom was brought in to replace Lozano, then why can't it be Lindstrom? Let's go. He's already put him in, 3 days he's on the team, and he put him in. Let's go. Do it.
I think, I think Elmas gets to start. At least I hope he gets to start. I was reading with Lindstrom because he had said something that, he could have probably gone to another team, but one of the promises that they made him was that he will get playing time. So, I don't know if there was just some kind of like backdoor agreement that was going on that last game where Lindstrom got the minutes and not Elmas. It's confusing me still, but I'm going to give Garcia the benefit of the doubt and say that he's going to put in Elmas. However, do you hold Elmas, Rafa, for the midfield instead for the second half, or do you start him right off the bat?
Yes, I do. I do.
Right
because there's options. If Lindstrom's not really working out at right wing against Genoa, then you have options on the bench to take care of it, right? You could throw Raspadori in there. You could throw Elmas in there. But if he is working out and we need some help in the midfield, then we have Raspadori and we have Elmas. The options are there. So I say just go with Lindstrom as a start. Yeah.
Umberto says, my gut tells me that Lindstrom was brought in ultimately to replace Elmas. He's more of a central attacking player. Interesting take. Giuseppe D'Angelis. Didn't we get Lindstrom for this very reason? He has a point there.
That's it. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, absolutely.
Antonio Arcamone. I feel Elmas is better off the bench. And this, I think, lots of people agree with this statement here. Francesco Valenti, who asked the question, says, maybe a hot take. I think after the loss, Garcia gives some guys a shot like Rui, Elmas, and Nathan. I'm banking on a shakeup. Is that a good or bad that we need a shakeup already? That's my question.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a shakeup. I would say against Genoa, let's test the waters, right? I don't know about shakeup. I think shakeup is the wrong term to use here because there's no need for a shakeup, man.
It's been 3 days, right? We want a shakeup. And we want Garcia's head. Guys.
I said last week, if we win against Genoa, we'll be 1 point ahead of where we were last season after 4 matches. So
Okay.
There you go.
Right. We did say that, but I'm gonna stick with Elmas. Pasquale says, hold on. Pasquale Napolitano says, I'm shocked that business is going with Elif. It's true. Who would have guessed? Come on. There must be some kind of, like I think like Bet365 or one of these companies need to put like like the odds of me supporting Elmas on this show.
And I apologize for yawning right in your faces, but the Ralph Bizarro's Elmas answer really bored me. It's no kidding. Elmas. No way.
Oh man, no way. Let me get another question.
All right, let's go. Another question. Who is it?
Actually, from Umberto. I'm gonna put you back up.
Umberto Castano, right?
Yeah, here we go. Umberto asks, do you think Garcia is going to put his ego to the side and let the team go back to playing how we did last year? ADL brought him in for continuity, and Garcia is implementing a completely different strategy. Did he bring him in for continuity though?
Did Garcia really completely change the strategy other than switching to a 4-4-2 late?
Mm-hmm.
Did he change much? I mean, no. We're playing with a 4-3-3, and it worked in the first two matches, and it didn't work in the third match against Lazio. It's just, to me, I think that Garcia's decision making needs to be a little more crisp when it comes to, who to bring in, who to start, when these guys need to come in. I mean, I'm not going to totally, criticize Garcia right away too, because again, if he gets a win over Genoa, we're ahead of where we were last year. So let's all see how it plays out. I mean, I was the first one to criticize Garcia's substitutions and decisions last week against Lazio, and if that can change, and if we can get a little better with that, and he realizes what we have and where they need to play, then I think maybe the only thing that needs to change that was working last year that he's not doing is playing the ball through Lobotka a little bit more, right?
Yeah, in fact, Berto kind of answered his own question here too.
There you go.
We don't play through Lobo. Yeah,
that's it. That's the only thing that needs to change. Otherwise, I think defensively we've been really solid, minus that last half. Right, I think attack wise we've been on point. And yeah, I mean, maybe Mario Rui needs to start more. But as far as how we play, I think we've been playing the same. I mean.
Anthony F says Garcia does not seem the introspective type. He will square peg, round hole his team until ADL sacks him. Guys, why are we so harsh on Garcia? Why don't we lost faith already?
Well, because
we lost one game against Lazio.
It's not just
with
that,
Sadi
Ralph.
fighting
It's
for the
not
job.
Just that. He historically he's been a pretty odd manager. I agree.
I don't know a whole lot about him. Anthony,
No,
I'm not trying to bust
I don't
your
know
chops,
too
but
much
like
about
I
him
just want to
either,
make sure that we're not, we're not pulling the trigger too fast here, guys.
Yeah,
because we don't need this in the beginning of the season. We can't.
No,
we can't start losing our heads in the beginning of the season. I don't. You know what I'm afraid of, Rafa? That I don't want this to turn into like, oh, Napoli 1-1. Now back to the bullshit. You know what I mean? That's what I'm afraid of the most. Because it's gonna seem like it was like a fluke last season, and that's what I'm afraid of.
It was no fluke, man.
Well, I hope he doesn't square peg anything into any round holes, but nobody gets sacked. Enzo Esposito says some people are panic mode. No need. Versus Lazio, the midfield was tired. Nobody should have 90 minutes this early. He just made the wrong subs. Spalletti did it a few times last season as well. Do you think, like, I like this, Enzo Esposito 46. Thank you. Do you think that because Spalletti won, we're starting to overlook some of the mistakes that maybe he made?
I think because Spalletti won,
Yeah.
Well,
do we forget that he didn't
yeah.
necessarily have a perfect season either? You know.
I mean, it's easy to go back and look at it, in retrospect and see what kind of mistakes were made last year. I think it's easy to do that, especially now, months after the Scudetto. But I think, yeah, there were some mistakes made last year, and I'm not so sure that it's that detrimental to this season, though. I mean, I don't think. I honestly think our quality is much better than all that, and we'll be there at the end. Listen, no one's completely predicting. At the beginning of the season, I predicted Napoli to repeat. Now I have them second. I just do. That's just how I feel. But I'm not saying they don't have the quality to repeat. I think they can repeat. But it's asking a lot to do it with another manager. And I know I'm the first one to say, "Oh, when you said when Bianchi, people will use my own words against me." I know. I said that when Bianchi left, Bigon won a Scudetto after Bianchi won the Coppa UEFA, and it's possible to do that. But we didn't have a Scudetto repeat, so it's possible to win a Scudetto with a manager first season. It is, if you have the quality, and the quality is here, and it'll come. Trust me. And Rudy Garcia is not a bad manager. Watch, we're going to do a lot better in the Champions League than I think a lot of people think we will. He's a pretty decent tournament manager. I think we'll be all right.
Tifosi Napoli, New Jersey. I hear the band from Titanic playing with all these comments. It's true. We act like the ship is sinking, man.
Really
What's going on? Gentlemen, it's been an honor.
It's been an honor playing with you tonight.
Thank you for your humor, Napoli. Vic, probably from Tifosi Napoli,
Most
New
likely.
Jersey. Don't forget, their event is this Saturday, guys. So if you're at Blend out in Hamilton,
New Jersey,
be sure to check it out.
Tri-State and Tifosi, New Jersey, getting together.
Guys, go look it up. Go look it up. Blend in Hamilton, New Jersey, with the boys from NJ and Tri-State. Unfortunately, I had to bow out due to work reasons, but we will definitely set something up with the boys there because, by the way, the guys at Blend are great. The owner, wonderful. It's a great place. They got great food. It's a good time. So, if you can't make it for the event, go out and show them some support. Tell them we sent you. They're really, really awesome people, man. Honestly.
Awesome. Can't wait to go visit.
Yeah. We had another good question. Speaking of which, speaking of Garcia, Rafa, because we did see a 4-4-2. Angelo Solimine asks, you think Garcia will go away from the 4-3-3 for another formation?
Not if he wants to keep his job.
No. Here we go again with the keeping the job.
Well, no, but so because I do believe Garcia was brought in because he plays similar style to Spalletti. So what's the point in changing the formation? I think he's going to really realize that it's Lobotka he has to play through. Guys, we're forgetting another huge aspect of what's been going on here, and maybe someone will ask it. Maybe I'll hold my thoughts about it. But as far as going away from the 4-3-3, I don't think that's a possibility unless he goes to a 4-2-3-1 like we did before. He will not play a 4-4-2. That's not going to happen. We're not built for that. And you don't fix. I just saw Giuseppe's comment pop up. You don't fix something that's not broken. So I don't think so. No, I don't think he will.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think what we saw last week too was a little bit of experimentation. I mean, here's the deal. We got off to like a commanding lead last season, and we rode that thankfully to the end of the season. But we're not going to be. I don't think we're going to be able to do exactly what we did last season again. We need a plan B. I don't get it. Everybody was complaining that we didn't have much of a plan B, and even though plan A was working out great, I think Garcia is just trying to establish, a different style at times that this team could utilize in order to gain wins because, he mentioned it. I mean, he was pretty adamant about it, saying that, if we put everything through one guy and they lock down that guy, the team is shut down. The team might lose. So I think this means a lot to him. We have to listen to what they say and what their concerns are, and I think that's one of them. And what better time to do it than in the beginning of the season? That hopefully, we can start gelling because the team has the chemistry. Don't get me wrong. And if we have to revert back to the old way, we can do it. And that's fine. But at the same time, why not give us a chance trying something else as well, so we have other options? I think this is the sign of good maturity and growth. Right. I mean, I backed them on Instagram, Raff. I put my money where my mouth is, and I said we're winning the treble. Now, I was exaggerating a little bit, but I was excited about Garcia. Hopefully that he can bring new energy into the team. But the team got to respond. And I think he has to find a way to earn the respect of the players, because Spalletti really had the respect of the players. He really had their hearts. He had the hearts of the fans. This is important in Napoli. We have to play through the heart more than anything. And I think Garcia should focus on that. Guys, more questions out there. More questions out there, please.
I think I see one here.
Hold on. I start them, Rafa. I got them. I got a few here. This one from Antonio. This is a double question. Tifosi Napoli, New Jersey asks, when does Nathan finally play? Antonio asks, do you think Ostigard will get the start over Jesus, or will we see Nathan? So,
I want to shout out that Raptor Will also asked that question. That he just asked it. So thank you for the questions, Raptor Will says, not sure if this was answered, but do you see Nathan starting against Genoa? So a lot of similar questions out there, but let's answer it. No, I think it's going to be Nathan. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's time Nathan starts the match. We have to see what he can do, especially with the Champions League starting up next week. Get him some legs, get him ready, because then Real Madrid comes soon. So it's got to happen. It's got to happen. I think he's being pressured a little bit now too into starting Nathan, and I think there's a lot of excitement around him playing. So I think he'll play. Yeah,
I think there's
especially. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Especially what? No, finish it.
No, especially with Retegui up against us. Retegui on Genoa, the Argentinian Italian national team player.
Mm-hmm.
With his dynamism, it's probably maybe a nice challenge to see Nathan up against him. I think maybe for pace, I'd probably go with Juan Jesus against Retegui, but I don't know. I think Nathan would be good to. It would be a good test for him, a young striker, a young defender. Let's stick him on Retegui and see what happens.
I'm curious about this whole Nathan situation because Lindstrom gets to start, or rather gets minutes pretty quickly. I don't want to say there was a problem with Nathan, but there must have been some type of concern or some type of real special reason that Garcia hasn't given him the minutes right away. Hey, you never know. Nathan could be sitting there saying, like, listen, I'm not even 100% ready and confident right now. I mean, I know they all want to get out there and play as soon as they can. Obviously, these are professionals. Don't get me wrong. No matter if they're new to a team, they want to get out. They want to play. They want to earn their paychecks. But if he's starting Cajuste really quickly, I mean, granted, Anguissa was injured, fine. But again, they could have gone different ways. And Lindstrom gets minutes right away. Maybe there was an issue with Nathan. Maybe, I don't know, was he fully fit? Was there a language barrier? Did he have a problem taking instructions? There had to be a reason, in my opinion, that Natan hasn't got minutes yet. And, let's hope that they have rectified the situation, and hopefully he does get a start. Now, the thing with Ostigard, I really like Ostigard. And to be honest, I mean, Jesus is all right, but I want to give Ostigard more of a shot, man. He's a rough, tough player, and I want to see what he does. Now, is he better towards Rahmani's side? I don't know. But if Natan doesn't get a start, I kind of want to see Ostigard, to be honest, because I feel like he's rotting away on our bench right now, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I won't be mad if Jesus gets, is not chosen before Ostigard next game. So I don't know. That's how I feel about that.
I'm trying to find what his name is, but I believe it's Gabriel. Gabriel with Arsenal, center back. Not the one that's there now. That's the one that we were trying to get a couple of years ago, and he went to Arsenal. There was another Gabriel that was a center back, played with Arsenal. I was talking to a buddy of mine about Natan and about how he hadn't started yet. He's got all this hype on him. He's Brazilian, this and that. And he asked me this question, which coincidentally, this is out there in the open, right? He asked me if he had started speaking the language yet. And I said he actually knows 0 Italian and 0 English. He only speaks Portuguese. And he told me, he goes, well, this particular Gabriel, again, not the one that's on there now, they waited months to start him because he didn't even know English. Like, he needs to understand the players around him, whether it's in Italian or in English, because a lot of our players do speak English as well. He's got to know basic terms on the pitch, and be comfortable with it with his team before he gets out there, because communication could be broken down, and on defense, it's a very big risk, right? So I know there's a lot of jokes out there too about it, how like, Natan passed his test, he can play now. You know what I mean? It's for real though. It's for real. How would you feel if you had a Brazilian center back that doesn't speak Italian, so Meret and him can't communicate, doesn't speak English, so Rahmani or whoever may speak English or Italian, around him, you know what I mean? They can't communicate. He could probably communicate a little bit with Mario Rui, but that's it. Can't communicate with the midfield.
3 weeks, bro.
Well,
3 weeks is tough.
3 weeks. I mean, he
not a whole lot of time. What are you gonna? I mean, you can learn a few words, but again, fitness, language, formations, chemistry, all these things. I mean, like all these things must be affecting the coach's decision. You have
Lindstrom that came in, he speaks English. You had Cayuste that came in, he speaks English. Natan doesn't speak English, he doesn't speak Italian. He's got to learn how to communicate, because it is a very big role. It maybe isn't the biggest role on the team in the grand scheme of things, but you have to have communication on the back line. Otherwise, forget it. And that could very well be it. Well, 3 weeks, it's been, here's another week, it's 4. And he's been with the team maybe for about total of 7 now. So I'm sure by now he's learned a lot. If he's focusing on learning English, a little bit of English, a little bit of Italian,
right?
It'll come. He'll be all right. It's just that key element of being able to talk to your fellow center back or your keeper or
the last line of defense, Rafa, has to be secured. Like it's you could have a winger like Lindstrom. He comes on fine. Maybe he messes up, but there's plenty of people behind him that could back him up if he makes a mistake. But Natan starts making mistakes. That's it. It could cost you a goal. It could cost you a game. I mean, that's a big deal. So
listen, Rocco's doing Duolingo, and he's picking up Italian like that. You know, between me teaching him a few things and Duolingo,
right?
This guy will be fine. He's gonna be fine. And
but that's assuming that language is the only issue. To me, there's way more to this than just
might
language.
not be the only issue. It could be a major issue, though. It could very well be.
There's a lot that we probably don't know yet. But speaking of defensemen, I want to talk about this because we touched on it last week, but I think it's a good rant because a lot of people were doing Rui over Oliveira is almost a given. Yes.
Oh yes, absolutely. I think you put Rui in to get the early assists, to get as many assists as you can, to provide offensively, and then if we're up by a goal, if we're up by a couple goals, you bring Oliveira in to tighten the defense up. That's just 101, basically, right? 101.
I think Rui just needs to start. Period. Like he's my starter. He earned his spot. He's been waiting for a long time. He's the best crosser on the team. He's one of the top assist makers in the league. And he has grinta.
Would you start him against Genoa and in the Champions League? Because don't forget, we have Genoa on, I think it's Saturday, and then Champions League on Wednesday. Pulling up the schedule now, guys.
I would play him against Genoa, and definitely, I mean, I would play him for Genoa. I would
Genoa
play him for
Saturday.
Genoa. Let the team get the goals because.
Okay.
I listen. I just think as far as the contribution on offense, I like Rui over Oliveira.
Okay.
And considering we had a hard time scoring, I want to see Rui a little bit more because he provides, like, again, he provides that he's able to stretch defenses. He's able to run to the corner, make a cross. I just like that. I just like that from the guy. I mean, we saw it last year when we didn't see Rui. We felt like something was missing there on the left at times. I think his through balls to Cavada were always good. I mean, there was plenty of times that he hustled and ran to get a ball before past the touchline while Cavada was just kind of watching. Remember that? And those things led to shots and chances and goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love his attitude, man. He's on there. He puts his heart and soul. Like we spoke about this last season. It's like Rui sweats in that shirt. He leaves everything on the pitch. We need a player like that, man. And to have him and Di Lorenzo on the other side, that's dangerous, dude. Super dangerous for the opposition. I like Oliveira. I think you come in, he holds the lead. Job well done. Fine. But if we want to be more offensive minded, if we want to be a more attack minded, I think whether we're not, we want to be attack minded. I think Mario Rui over Oliveira, and then when he needs his rest, let him get his rest. I like actually Oliveira starting in Champions League too. When we want to be a little more conservative and defensive, you can put him you can put him in there. So
right. Right. By the way, everybody, once again, like, share, subscribe. Do it now. It takes nothing. Just click the button. That's it. Subscribe
click
to
the
our show.
button. Smash the button.
Like, smash like, smash subscribe, smash whatever you want. I don't care. It's your life. Smash it. Just smash what we need you to smash right now.
Yeah. Smash that. Smash that.
What else we got, guys? Who else has a question? We got something else?
Yes, I do. Hang tight. Michelangelo, I saw your question. Hang tight for that one. I don't want to get into that yet.
By the way, go ahead.
Speaking of CL, while I wait for my next
Valenti will smash whatever, that's for sure.
Yeah, he will.
Go ahead, CL. What was that?
Pasquale Napoli. Let's lighten things up here. Let's have a fun question. Drip question. Theories on tweaks made to the kits for the CL version.
So theories on tweaks made to the kits for the CL versions. I got to tell you what, man. This black and gold needs no tweaking.
Nope.
Like if we use this for the Champions League, that'd be great. I would love to see gold on the Champions League kits, like on all the Champions League kits. In the past, when Napoli had two sponsors in the front, they would get rid of the MSC and it would only be Lete.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about that. So it'll only be MSC up there. But I would love to see everything in gold, like the outside part of the emblem, right, in gold.
Francesco and Napoli, New
wrapped
Jersey.
in gold.
Francesco and Napoli saying they want to see the numbers and the names
in gold
as well. Yeah,
everything in gold, blue and gold. That's it.
Or just drop that up bit for the Raff and Raff tramp stamp, and we're all set, baby.
I want to see the Raff and Raff tramp stamp right on the back of those Champions League jerseys for the
guys.
World
Sponsor this show. Sponsor this show so we can get on the tramp stamp next season, please.
Hit us up for sponsorship opportunities.
Yes, hit us.
We're working on some packaging and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got a business out there? Help us out.
Help us out. We'll help you out.
Help you out. Exactly.
Yeah. Guys, especially if you got a business. We get so many requests for, hey, where's a good restaurant? Where's a good pizzeria? Where's a good, like a barbershop? Where's a good this? And we love to support our community. So if you're into something, guys, let us know, because we have a very, very loyal fan base in here. And if they know that you're Napoli and we're co-signing you, they'll give you a call. Trust me. They'll give you a call. Let's get a couple more questions and then we'll dip out of here, Raff.
What do you got, Raff?
Let me see what we got. I'll be honest. Michelangelo asked about the national team, guys. Let's touch on it real quick. He's a good friend.
Let's go. We should probably touch on that.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the highlights.
I did. It was pretty bad, Ralph.
Go ahead.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Why Immobile is starting, nonetheless, the captain, is beyond me. I was really excited to hear if Di Lorenzo would be the captain, and that was not to be. I don't know where Di Lorenzo stands on that, and I don't know if he's maybe the vice captain or what have you. But I'm not too thrilled with Spalletti appointing Immobile the captain. Yeah, he got the goal, but I mean, how he got the easiest goal one can have. He was at the right place at the right time, headed the ball in off a rebound. It's not like he did much to score. We had almost nothing after that, and just flat. Didn't look good. I didn't like that Cristante started. I didn't like that. Obviously, Immobile. I didn't like that Retegui didn't even come in. Guy scores 3 goals in the first 4 matches he plays in. He doesn't even get a call in. Well, he's on the pitch, but he's on the bench. But Gnotto came in. Maybe he should have sat. Maybe he should have started. Maybe Retegui should have started. And Donnarumma, guys, yeah. I mean, I see it. Donnarumma, wet mutts. I'd rather have Provedel than Donnarumma. Honestly, I'd rather have Meret at this point than Donnarumma. Let me actually tell you guys something, okay? Alex Meret is in pretty exclusive company. This guy... So I'll bring it back. I'll tell you guys a story. I'm going to take you on a journey. All right.
Well, I want to come back for this one.
You're going to come back for this journey. All right. So Ralph.
Yeah.
It was in a Facebook group where someone had listed a couple of names. It was about 6 or 7 names of players who deserve to be on the national team, and then everybody else can go. Di Lorenzo was on it. Donnarumma was on it. And there was a few others you could, assess, probably Di Marco, Barella, and et cetera, right? So I come on there and I'm like, well, what Donnarumma? What about the other goalkeepers? How does Provedel, Meret, and Vicario not belong on this team? And he responded with, and I can't find this post, by the way, because I wanted to go over it and look at it to see who the players were. He must have taken it down. But he said in response, this gentleman said, well, that's great and all, but how are they going to help us? You can't start 4 goalkeepers, which is true. But I wanted to, I thought of it, and I said to myself, well, then why is Donnarumma starting? And why can't Meret start? First of all, Spalletti knows Meret. And Meret, again, is in very, very exclusive company. Meret is the only Italian starting goalkeeper other than Gianluigi Buffon to win a Scudetto since 2010, 2011. Alex Meret is the only goalkeeper to win the Scudetto in the last decade and a half. Only Italian starting goalkeeper. Other than Buffon. Right? Prior to that, it was Christian Abbiati with Milan for 2010-11. And prior to that, it was the Roma goalkeeper whose name just escaped me in 2001. So, in the 2000s, there have been 4 Italian goalkeepers, starting goalkeepers, that have won the Scudetto. Antonioli is his name for Roma.
Okay.
Buffon for Juventus. Abbiati for Milan. Alex Meret for Napoli. Unbelievable. I was floored when I realized that. Floored. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, Alex Meret deserves to be there. What about Provedel? You know, he not only did he, win the goalkeeper of the season for Serie A with the most shutouts, but he played incredibly against Napoli, right? And then Vicario's so good that the English Premier League wants him. So, I mean, I think those guys deserve to be there. I think the talent is there. I think there just needs to be Spalletti needs to be able to form his own team. Now, here's another thing. Spalletti's only really been the manager of this team since what? Right before the season started. I think it was the day of our first game was when Spalletti was officially announced as manager. That gave him 3 weeks to prepare for this upcoming string of games. I think he needs another month to actually implement his ideas, his team, his mentality, right? It takes a little while. It's not going to happen right away. Okay. Even though I'm one of the guys after the match that said, new coach, same shit. But,
You think it's just Italy? It's just Italy, Rafa.
I mean, I don't know.
Italy's in turmoil, man.
Because the players are good, man. They're good. They're good players.
But it's just like, I don't know. They come together.
Okay, their names aren't Baggio, Buffon, Nesta Cannavaro. Their names aren't De Rossi, Totti, Inzaghi. Okay, fine. But they are good players, man. They won the Euro, Ralph. Most of this team won the Euro. And it was a mixture of those guys that are too old and a lot of these younger guys. Right? How come Raspadori didn't see the field? Again, how come
I don't know, man. I think it's all biased bullshit. I think something's up in Italy, man. I don't trust anything.
There's no Juve players on the team. So we can't say that. We can't say it's Juve bias, right? Scamacca didn't even get a call up. He scored 2 beautiful goals for Atalanta at the weekend. And I think he could be a number 9 that we could count on. Retegui. Germany is in rough shape, man. Germany lost 4-1 on a friendly to Japan, and their manager got sacked today or yesterday. They're in rough shape, and they're only going as the hosts. Oh, by the way, too, we play against the Ukraine tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Italy plays Ukraine tomorrow. Italy really needs to win, because if Italy win, they'll be tied with Ukraine for second with 7 points, right? However, if Italy don't win and everybody's gonna start, crying again. No, it's over. We're not going to qualify for Euro. It's over. It's over. It's over. I got a little news for you there, too. Italy could finish dead last in their qualifying group. They still are clinched for a playoff spot. Of course, you want to qualify for Euro directly, right? So finishing 1 and 2 will have you qualifying for Euro directly. But if Italy finished 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever it is, they still get a qualifying spot because of what they did in the Nations League. They won their Nations League group, and I think it's 4 leagues, right? Nations League A has A1, 2, 3, and 4. They won their group and played in the semifinal and final, and that earned them an automatic playoff spot. So no matter what happens, Italy has a playoff spot. So everybody, and I know nobody wants to play the playoff spot because it's happened twice already where we couldn't win the playoff, and it sucks. Sure, we are Italy. We should finish top 2, for sure. However, if it doesn't happen, not all is lost. We're still in it. So everybody worried about that, don't worry. We still have a playoff spot, no matter what.
Get a little close. Let's get a Forza Napoli going in the chat, guys. Thank you again for everybody who showed up. We're going to cut out in just a moment here. Appreciate all the questions. Thank you to all the listeners and everybody on the replay. If you got a question, put it up in the comments, man. Let us know. Talk to us in the comments, guys. We love to respond. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas for topics, let us know, man. And we want everybody to be a part of it. Don't forget to join our Discord. Check all our links in our social medias. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Good questions out there. There was one. Maybe we can finish real quick here. Wet Mutts asked, does Garcia get fired if we don't pass the group stage with champion and out of the top 4?
Absolutely.
Really?
100%. We just had another question come in. Antonio Arcamone.
Hang tight.
You need to throw it up? I got it.
Oh, well. But all right, we're done with that one. See, okay, he's getting fired. Okay, done. Shringuisa get a game off.
Oh, yeah, he's getting fired. Absolutely.
I got you, Rafa. I got you.
Okay.
Shringuisa get a game off against Genoa or Champions League? I say give him off Genoa.
Give him off Genoa. Give him off Genoa.
He can do it. He can do it.
Just start Elmas in his spot, no?
Yeah, why not?
Or even our boy, Kayust. Thank you, guys. Appreciate everything. We got people coming in, saying hi, saying goodbye. Once again, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Hit us up if you want to. Hit us up if you're interested in sponsoring. We have a lot of ideas, Ralph, don't we? We have a lot of ideas that we're
guys.
We're trying to get all these ideas we have, jumble them up, and put them in order of when we're gonna do them. But there's some stuff coming out. There is, for sure. A lot of ideas, a lot of good things coming out. Keep this chat live, because I'll talk to Ralph about this later. One of my ideas has to do with this chat. So keep it going, because there's a lot of things that we miss, and I want to be able to address all that. So keep it up, guys.
All right, thanks again, Rafa. Great show as always.
Let me shout out my boys. Let me shout out Luke. My cousin Luke, Sofo Luca. He's now Lower Connecticut Luca. His girlfriend, longtime friend of the family, Antoinette, and their kids, Luca, Antonio, and oh my God, you guys are gonna kill me. I put on the spot. Luca, Antonio, and I'm so embarrassed. How can I have forgotten his name already?
I don't even want to be here right now. Go ahead.
Don't put the camera on me. No. What's the other kid's name? Luca, Antonio, and Dominic.
Dominic. There it is.
Lil Mimo.
There it is, guys.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry.
We love you.
Sorry, guys.
Until then, guys, we'll see you next week. I probably won't be here, Ralph. I got to talk to you about that actually.
Ooh, do we need a guest host?
Do we need a guest host? Who's gonna guest host? Stay tuned for more. But until then, guys, Forza Napoli sempre.
All right, ciao. Campioni d'Italia.
Campioni d'Italia.